Sea of Thieves is an amazing game. It's constantly updated by the company called Rare that develops Sea of Thieves. And although we get constant updates with every new season, I think there's 10 things that should be added to Sea of Thieves. These are in no specific order, so starting at the top of the list with number 10, we have a board game, or any other game that I think should be added to the ship in Sea of Thieves. We've all had periods of time in Sea of Thieves where we are sailing around doing nothing, whether it's to an island for our next quest, or it's deep beyond the waves searching for a game with the new war maps. We've all had a lot of spare time while we're on the ship, and I think that something like a game of chess, or Connect 4, or even a card game or something would be a cool addition. This would mean that even when we are sailing doing nothing, we would still be able to entertain ourselves and our crewmates. And you may be thinking, but Altina, you need to actively steer the ship when sailing and we wouldn't have time to play board games. And yeah, you're right, that's what brings me to number 9. Disable the waves moving the ship when sailing in a straight line. Now some of you may not agree, but personally I think sailing to an island and steering the ship for insane periods of time is one of the most boring things to do in Sea of Thieves. I think if we can set our ship in a straight line without it constantly turning, it would mean we'd be able to spend more time either sorting loot, sorting our barrels, or playing the previously suggested board game or something. Number 8. The ability to hit headshots with a damage multiplier, including on skeletons and other creatures. I think being able to hit headshots would be an extremely positive addition to Sea of Thieves. Being able to hit headshots would also be a pretty hard thing to do, as the bullets in Sea of Thieves take a lot of precision, and trying to hit such a small hitbox like a head would be quite a challenge, especially from far away. I think the only negative to this would be that it could possibly add to the already failing projectile-based systems problems with more hit registration issues, but I think if Rare got their shit together, it could be a really rewarding update that would take a lot of skill in getting used to. Number 7. Increase the maximum FOV or field of view to at least 100. In Sea of Thieves, the maximum FOV that you're allowed to have is 90, but 90 FOV in Sea of Thieves doesn't feel like 90, it feels more like 80. That's why I think even being able to make it 100 would be a good change. Or even if Rare didn't want to do this, I think we should be able to change our gun FOV and change how big or small our gun looks like you can in Rust. Not only does this mean we'll be able to see the full weapon skin, but we would also be able to see a lot more with our gun further away. This would also help solve the problem with FOV cheaters that use cheats to increase their FOV to numbers like 120. If we were able to change this ourselves, then I'd hope a lot more people wouldn't resort to cheating to change their FOV. Number 6 on the list is crossplay to PlayStation. Now this is a thing that the community has wanted ever since the game's release date. It's been made very aware that both the Xbox and PS4 community want this change. And although it may not be an easy change to make possible, I think that it would be possible if they just tried hard enough. Rare is a Microsoft owned company who also owns Xbox, and we all know that Microsoft and Sony don't have the best relationship in the world, but we have seen crossplay between the two platforms happen before, and I really think it all comes down to money. If enough money was involved in some kind of deal, I definitely think it's something that could be made possible in the future. I think having Sea of Thieves being available to both PlayStation 4 and 5 would drastically increase the Sea of Thieves player base, leading to more people on the seas and more money for Rare to develop more quality updates. Number 5 is a new ship in Sea of Thieves. Now this one I know that some people have some very strong opinions about. Some people think that it's a great idea, and some people think that it'll just kill the game and pretty much be invincible. But I don't know. I think if Sea of Thieves was able to do this properly and balance it well, I think it would definitely be a positive thing. What you're seeing is a model of a ship made by an independent creator that I've linked below, and it's a very cool looking ship. As you can see, it has 6 cannons on each side and it's very, very big. I think that if Rare were to make this thing free full wheel turns to turner and made changes to the anchor timing and maybe require a percentage of the active crew to raise the anchor. For example, if you had a crew of 6 on the ship, then you'd need at least 2 people to raise the anchor. I think it would be a cool thing to have. Not only would we see bigger crews on the seas, but imagine seeing 2 of these in an alliance coming for you. I can just imagine all the cool PvP scenarios and content that would come from this. Do you agree? Number 4 is an option to remove the sitting function on the ship. This one might be more of a personal issue for me, but I get really frustrated with a cluttered user interface when doing stuff on my ship. I think a super easy toggleable option would be something that is easy to add as well as being very useful, and I'm actually amazed that it isn't a thing already in the game. Number 3 is a new title like Pirate Lord or something. Because you know how after reaching level 50 in 3 companies you get Pirate Legion? Well, I was thinking a title or a commendation for reaching 75 in Reaper, Merchant, Order of Souls, and Gold Hoarders, as well as reaching 30 in Athena. What could also be added is something like Athena that you can only do after reaching this milestone. I just think that we should be rewarded with something for getting this far in the game, as it's definitely not an easy thing to reach. I mean, I have thousands of hours played and I'm not even there yet, I'm still a few levels off. Even if we got a cool custom curse, you know, something like this, just something to show that we absolutely no life this game for thousands of hours would be pretty cool. Number 2 is the option to upgrade our ship without leaving the server. What I mean by this is if we're in a sloop, then there should be something in the game that we can go to change our ship to either a brig or a galleon. It should be something that's voted on by the rest of the crew, and it could even cost a small amount of money or doubloons to do. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a fully stocked up sloop and I've had to lose all of my supplies and find a new session because I've had another mate get on that wants to play. It is something that's pretty frustrating and something that could easily be fixed. As long as Rare adding something that would stop people doing this mid-fight or something like that so people can't just upgrade to a brig and run away, I definitely think if they balance it right, it could be a positive thing. And for our last proposed idea, it's a little bit controversial, but number 1 is a 4th weapon in Sea of Thieves. I think a weapon weapon like a musket or something with iron sights, but a weapon that's more long range than the pistol and also holds more bullets than the pistol and sniper would be cool. Or it could even hold less bullets. I'm not sure how Rare could balance a weapon like this, but I think a mid-range weapon with iron sights to make it pretty hard to hit your targets and with a decent amount of damage done, maybe like 65 damage or something instead of 50 for the pistol and 75 for the sniper, it could be a pretty cool thing to have. I can just imagine running around with a musket and a pistol. I think it would be a deadly combo, but not an overpowered combo, as you'd have iron sights and it would be difficult. But what do you think? What do you think should be added to Sea of Thieves? Let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.